Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a Canadian who's been living outside of Canada for the last 14 years, mainly in Asia, and then for the last 5 years in Latin America. I'm here at Ahal because of basically 20 years of repeated relapsing in various types of substance abuse. Started off with alcohol, then that turned into alcohol and cocaine. Then from there, it would be basically whatever I could get my hands on. It never got to a point where it really negatively impacted my work or my life or my family, but it was something I was never able to shake. I would say that I have been habitually pushing the dopamine button in whichever way I could find. So over the last decade, let's say, I had cut down on my drinking significantly, but then I would start abusing something like Valium. And then I would get off Valium and I would get way back into weed or cannabis again. And then I would get into some other type of pain medication, which would be like a Percocet or something like that. Partying, I would consume various types of drugs, ketamines, MDMAs, cocaine, alcohol, some of the, more normal party drugs. Recently, I'm not sure exactly the name, but I believe it's called pregabalin. It's a nerve GABA drug that, basically makes you feel good. And I was able to get it over the counter where I lived. A small amount led to a larger amount till I had to kick that habit again, or kick that addiction, and it was extremely painful. I just did that cold turkey myself, and it hurt. It was 2 weeks of pain, physically and mentally, emotionally, another month of just not feeling good. I've gone through long periods of time where I've been sober. And what I mean by sober is I'm consuming caffeine, I'm consuming vape, or nicotine in some form of a fashion. So it's vaping, or it's using the nicotine pouches, and some type of attention deficit drug, such as Ritalin. So sober to me was caffeine, nicotine, and a Ritalin, let's say. So 3 separate stimulants just to get me going, just to get me started during the day. I would go to bed looking forward to getting a buzz in the morning from these stimulants. When I could and would get off of everything, my life, my emotions, and my motivation were completely flat, completely dead. I had very little motivation. I could live my life. I exercised, I ate clean, I did all the things you were supposed to do, and a month would go by, 2 months would go by, 3 months would go by, and I'd still feel blah. I didn't feel good. Over the last couple of years, I started learning about Ibogaine. Over the last 12 months, I started doing more and more research, thinking, okay, I've got a really long history of various drug abuse. The dopamine system in my brain probably isn't functioning as it should be. And it seems like Ibogaine is going to give me that reset that I need. When I came here, I had already stopped drinking. I hadn't drank for 7 months. I had kicked the kind of pain pills about 3 months before. And again, I was just on Ritalin, caffeine, and a nicotine of some kind now and then. But I needed those. And I wanted to be able to just let go of all of that and help my brain recover and kind of hit the factory reset. As reference, I've tried this before. I did ayahuasca in Peru, and I did 7 sessions with a series of shamans at a really nice retreat down there. It was a very unique experience, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Didn't give me that reset that I was looking for. I can't say the same about my experience here at Ahal down in Playa del Carmen. This has been the most transformative experience of my life, 100%. I feel incredible. Ibogaine, in combination with the Bufo, did exactly what I was looking for. And that is, I'm waking up motivated, I'm waking up feeling inspired, I'm waking up feeling like there's a reason to get out of bed. I'm having a herbal tea in the morning. There's literally nothing that I'm going to give myself 6 months before I even try to have a tea or a coffee. I want to give my brain an opportunity to regenerate and rebuild itself, before I put anything in it that could kind of skew the dopamine system. I think this is such a gift that I've given myself. Absolutely thrilled to have done it here at Ahal, because the treatment, the process, the safety, everything about it has been absolutely incredible. And that's why I'm doing this testimonial today. After trying various other modalities of recovery, which was like the ayahuasca, ketamine, mushrooms, these types of things, what brought me to Ibogaine was actually different various podcasts that I had seen over the years. So it started off with Sean Ryan talking about it. And then I started doing deep dives on guys who had PTSD. What they were saying through this process was they were having brain scans done and their brains weren't actually lighting up properly. And so there was a communication issue within the brain. After they had come down and done Ibogaine sessions, they had their brains scanned again and realized that the connections were reconnecting. They were lighting up. And these were guys with traumatic brain injuries. So it wasn't just people who were in the armed forces, it was athletes and, people who had CTE, I guess, and different brain traumas. And I thought, okay, this really makes sense to me. If there's a mechanism within the Ibogaine that's rewiring the dopamine system and rewiring the brain pathway, then that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this reset. I'm looking for the brain to rewire. And not only that, I had heard that it's being used in Europe right now to treat Parkinson's and different other dementia-related brain problems due to its fact that it can do the rewiring of the brain. So it helps with addiction, it helps with traumatic brain injuries, it helps with Alzheimer's and different types of dementia. I thought this is something that I need to try. And that's what brought me down here. There's nothing to be afraid of here. There's nothing to be afraid of with Ibogaine. As I mentioned earlier, I have done the ayahuasca, the ketamine, the mushrooms. And even though I've had a lot of experience with psychedelics over the years, when I came here, I was nervous too. I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard a lot of stories and it sounded a little bit scary. But this is something that not only people who have addictions or brain traumas, this is something everyone should do. This is a consciousness awakening treatment that is going to help your anxiety. This is going to help your depression. This is going to help you regain your vigor for life. If you've just lost motivation for life, you find it hard to get out of bed and find inspiration, this is going to change your life. The experience here has been very loving, okay? From check-in to check out, I can't say enough good things about the support staff here. It's not just the Ibogaine treatment. We did Tez Mescals and some sweat lodges. We're doing detoxification baths. We're going to the pools. We're going to the cenotes. We're going to the beaches. It's a holistic approach for regrowth. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Again, I've had a lot of experience with hallucinogenic drugs. This is very gentle. It's very beautiful. I'd do it again. I would do it again right now. If they said, hey, Al, we're going to do another session tomorrow morning, I would be, first person in line. It's beautiful. It's gentle. It's loving. And it's no short of kind of miraculous. So if you're scared, if it's something you're on the fence for, I just have to say, take a couple deep breaths, do a little bit of research, and then take the plunge, because it will 100% change your life for the better. Your relationships will improve. I don't think there's probably a metric that you could think of that isn't going to be affected in a positive way in regards to relationships, sex drive, motivation, outlook on life in the future. It's had a very, very positive impact, to the point where I'm trying to get my mom here. I'm trying to get some friends down here that I know could really benefit from this. So again, this isn't just for someone who's down and out with an addiction or struggling with a PTSD or trauma of some kind. This is for someone who wants to get their life back. If you want to regain the vigor and motivation and give yourself something to look forward to every time you get out of bed, this is a treatment for you. This will reset your brain. This will do nothing short of change your life in the most fundamental, prolific way you can ever imagine.